We're recording this on a Monday after the games, whatever games happened today. It was not too many. Saw the Philadelphia game. I saw the ending of the Nuggets Raptors game, which was marred by a lot of referee controversy. Scotty Barnes got ejected for talking to himself. Uh, Even the assistant referee was looking like, wait, what just happened? It was very weird out there. But I have tons of stuff to talk about. It was a week full of exciting NBA action, highlighted by some off-field controversy with Ja Morant. Let's get into it. Let's start off with Ja Morant, okay? I don't know how much I want to talk about the off-field controversy. I'm not an expert of it. But this is not a good reflection. I mean, it's not a one-off incident. It's like the fourth incident that has come out in the last 1 month or so, where first you had that incident with the Indiana Pacers where his gang or his group got into a fight with the Pacers. A lot of
There were death threats and stuff, right?
Yeah, and then there apparently a laser which came out of a gun apparently was pointed at one of the staff. Not good. Nothing proven, but no smoke without fire.
Exactly.
Right. And then one off-season story came out now where he apparently punched a boy like a dozen times and took out a gun. This happened during the off-season in his house.
Oh, boy.
Yard, after a basketball game, pickup game apparently. And now this, the Instagram live where he himself is flashing a gun. It's not like somebody recorded him or anything. It's his Instagram live and he was flashing a gun and it's no excuses. He himself admitted to being at fault here and then deleted his Twitter and Instagram and apparently will be away from the team for an indefinite amount of time. The Grizzlies announced it was 2 games, but their coach kind of came and said that he'll be out indefinitely. I don't know what to make of this. I mean, this fellow is one of the biggest stars in the game right now. If you put him in the list of, he'll be in like top 15 players right now with a bright future. And I don't even want to get into that because I don't want to talk about that. How does this impact the Memphis Grizzlies? They were on a downward spiral. They somehow maintained the second seeding still. Dylan Brooks got suspended for a 16 technical foul. Brandon Clark is out for the season. Steven Adams has missed a bunch of games. Should we write off the Grizzlies now for the season? They're still the second seed though, surprisingly.
I'd like to remind people that I went on the record and I wrote them off even before Ja Morant did any of this.
Yeah, you did. I did too, but still, there was some bit of like, okay, they're the second seed. They could
surprise anyone. Like they could jump someone. Except looks like Ja Morant's gang jumped a bunch of people and then not very successfully, but they got caught. Man, what the fuck? Like there's two things. This is a social commentary. It's not even NBA. There's two things that jump out of this. One, it's how bad is the situation that millions of dollars, worldwide fame, the opportunity loss of you fucking all this up is so insane, and the privilege is so insane, and yet people can't separate themselves from this culture of this gang and hood and guns and whatnot. There was that famous NFL documentary, right, of one of the brightest stars in the NFL just couldn't get out of the clutches of his gangs that he grew up with, became a murderer, and that's it, end of life.
Hernandez was that?
Yeah, Hernandez. So it's nuts. Second, I know where this is going. This guy, he's at least going to get one chance, right? This will be indefinite. He'll go to therapy. He'll do this, that. There'll be advisors, and he'll come back, and people will actually be happy for him that he has been rehabilitated. It probably might relapse. We don't know, but people will be happy, which tells you a lot about how bad the situation is. Because in any other country, you pose with a gun on Instagram Live and you go away, nobody gives a damn if you're rehabilitated. They don't want you in the sport after that. You defiled yourself. But it just shows you how bad things are. That is considered an improvement if you can, come back without a gun next time on Instagram. Like, what the fuck? And it's pathetic. I mean, it makes me sick. The kind of people would kill to be the number 2 draft pick. I said he should have probably gone number 1. And I know that's a bit of a stretch, but
got his own line of shoes recently. How many people have their own line of shoes? Less than 10, I would say.
Yeah. That's what it's insane, and he's headlining a franchise at whatever young age he is. It's nuts to piss all that away with a fucking gun next. You don't need that life anymore, man. And also, what's with Nike's signature? They got Kyrie, they dropped him. Is it a coincidence? It's exactly after Nike signed that damn deal that in like a month he had 4 separate incidents pop up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a domino. It's kind of like those Me Too allegations against Deshaun Watson. Right? One comes up and then boom, everything's coming out. Because now the tabloids are hunting, right? There's incentive to publish the next story about Ja Morant.
Exactly. How does this impact
That's
the
sad.
Grizzlies season though? I mean, they don't have a leader now. They don't have the best player on court for I don't know how long. Their Brandon Clark, who's been an impressive guy off the bench for them throughout last season, even during their run to the even during their run to the second round, right? He's out for the season. Dylan Brooks keeps getting in trouble every time he opens his mouth. If you remember last year, I remember posting Ja Morant highlights, one showcase highlight from every single game he's played. And the Grizzlies were one of the fun teams to watch last season, right? Until they reached the postseason, and then they started talking trash, got into it with the Warriors, kind of got annoying, and then after that there has been kind of a sudden decline in the liking of Grizzlies. It's been a downward spiral where they went from one of the most exciting teams to one of the most annoying teams. I mean, they're still exciting when they play good basketball. It's fun to watch. Ja Morant is an absolute walking, talking highlight, I used to call it, right? And but somehow it doesn't give me joy to see them win. It's like, I don't know. I mean, it's a bad. There is not. I mean, if you look at the individuals in the team, right? I like Ja Morant individually. I mean, he's a great player. Desmond Bain is likable. Jaren Jackson Jr. is likable. He's always quiet and does his job. But together, when they combine as a collective unit, somehow don't want them to win. It's like, I don't know. I mean, it's
one of those things.
I don't know how it just catapulted into that one.
No, I know, I get it. It's like their narrative is scripted by WWE writers. They were the face team last season. Now they're the heel team. Yeah. Baby face or whatever they were last season. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. This actually brings me back to, funny enough, the Miami Heat. And them just insisting to keep on Udonis Haslem for God knows what pleasure, right? I never got it.
He just announced he's retiring at the end of the season.
Yeah, God bless him, finally, man. I thought he'll play till 50. But I never got it, and every year you'd hear these guys, right? Like Dudley on the Lakers, right? So many people would credit him with just being a presence in the locker room and whatever, even though like his playtime was probably past it. Yeah. And I thought it was patronizing. And they're just kind of like, taking his name just to make him feel happy. Until I actually come to this moment, because we're talking about the NBA, but really we're outsiders to the country and the culture. We love the sport. That's about it. When they say we need veterans on the team in the locker room, I never used to get like, what value do these guys add? Like, Bam Adebayo is not really going to be challenged by Udonis Haslem in practice. It's not like he's going to become a better player. But then I get it. Now when you see players just running themselves into bankruptcy, how many pro athletes do we not know from black communities who haven't really been taught how to manage money? Because one guy makes money, the whole family is still impoverished. Everyone now is your favorite cousin and everyone wants to spend time. And people they don't know how to manage their money. Like Charles Barkley said, they don't even know what a savings and checking accounts are.
True.
And look at Ja Morant. Dude probably just needs guidance because you've got to get out of one life and enter a cleaner life. Yeah, it's anyway, long story short, Grizzlies, no veteran talent. Now it makes sense why other teams insist on having some veterans around.
In that locker room is Steven Adams. And
it's not. He's still, isn't he under 30? Yeah, he's under 30.
He's 30.
Okay, 30.
I mean, you need someone like you said, Udonis Haslem, Andre Iguodala on the Warriors for the exact same reason. That guy has played.
McGee, anyone, man, JaVale McGee, whatever, right? So, and McGee would probably tell you both sides of the story. His mom was a pro basketballer, so he kind of knows that life for a while. I think this season's done, to answer your question. I think for next season, I am now a firm believer in, yes, get veterans. If you have a team full of youngsters, get some damn veterans on that team because these guys clearly need guidance.
Contract, they're not going to hurt your salary.
Yeah, exactly.
Or whatever.
Exactly.
The first team I want to talk about in the Eastern Conference today is the Philadelphia 76ers. And over the weekend, I watched their impressive win against the Milwaukee Bucks. This is the second time they beat the Bucks, by the way. And it was kind of convincing. I mean, Milwaukee made a run quite at the end. Little too late. Embiid, impressive again. James Harden was on a heater. He scored 38 points. And he followed up today with 20 assists against the Indiana Pacers. This team has been putting on runs. They lost a close game against Boston last week. They lost a close game against Miami last week. Came back and destroyed them the next day. I know we've written them off multiple times this season. But if there's one team that can challenge the two teams that can challenge the Milwaukee Bucks in the East, is the Boston Celtics, for sure. They beat them last season. Although no Middleton, so put an asterisk there.
Yeah.
But if I could say that one team Miami Heat are not going to beat the Philadelphia 76ers. Cavs are not going to beat them. Philadelphia, I think, is a team that could challenge the Sixers because they seem like a bad matchup. I mean, Embiid...
Against the Bucks, they could challenge the Bucks, you mean?
Yeah. Something else?
The Sixers. Philadelphia can challenge the Sixers.
Oh, sorry.
Which, you're not wrong. That's my answer, by the way. Go ahead.
I think that's a team that can challenge the Bucks. Do you think they can beat the Bucks 4 times out of 7? No.
And you hit the Freudian slip is kind of a giveaway when you said Philadelphia can challenge the Sixers. Absolutely. Nobody needs to take down the Sixers. Philadelphia will. They always do every year. No, I think they'll probably get an easy first round for sure. They're actually really well positioned. Top 3 in the East that's just about like a bye for the first round.
Are you sure though? The team
I really am.
Matched up against is
Brooklyn.
But I think Brooklyn will fall. So let's say Miami Heat. They'll wrap up.
Yeah, they're fine. Philadelphia are fine in the East, so long as they don't run into Bucks. Yeah. First round, top 3. That's it. It's game over. Because I mean, who do you have right now? They're playing the Nets. That's an easy peasy win, right? And God bless Ben Simmons in Philadelphia in that series.
No, I don't think he's playing.
Yeah, exactly. So that's like a walk-off win, sweep, right? If Nets drop, who can rise up? Like really, Miami is the only real contender. I don't think Hawks, Raptors won't happen. Yeah. So then Miami, easy peasy, no sweat, right? Who can bother the 76ers? Nobody below them in the table right now. Not Cavs, certainly not Knicks, and nobody else. So it's Celtics Bucks. So first round they go through. Second round they're probably it'll be tight. I don't know who they'll face in the second round, but it'll be tight.
Probably the Celtics.
Yeah, so they're fucked.
Okay, so however we want to twist it, it's going to be the Celtics and the Bucks if they finish 1 and 2.
It looks like
which
it.
they should finish 1 and 2.
It's in their hands to fuck it up.
Roadblock, haven't they?
Huh?
The Celtics have kind of hit a roadblock of late. 5-5 in the last 10. Lost 2 consecutive overtime games. Yesterday against the New York Knicks and today against Cleveland.
No Tatum though today.
No Tatum though, but they seem to be kind of wavering a
Yeah.
here and there.
Yeah, I mean, just I
pull
down
their depth is kind of impacting them. Like it's the top 5, and then it's Brogdon, and then it's nobody else. So in a way, the depth is kind of hurting them.
Yeah, that's fair. They don't. You're right. They don't have the kind of depth that say a Clippers have, or Phoenix or Sacramento have, or certainly Milwaukee. Right. So the depth kind of shows up. I agree. But it's okay. I don't think even last year they had a few nifty players off the bench. It wasn't like they had a big bench. They're good. The good part about their team is barring Marcus Smart, people aren't really all that injury prone or old. I don't know, freak injuries during playing that who can avoid. But how much do they depend on Rob Williams, you think, though, in the playoffs?
I think he's their best defender.
He might be, but wasn't he out last season too in the playoffs?
He was out against the... He played a few games against the Warriors. He played the finals.
No, but in the run to the finals, I remember he was out for a while and then he came back. He was out. Yeah, so the good part was Celtics, not very injury prone or used to injury prone players that are injury prone. But it's few and far between. I think their core... Look, I mean, if you look at Smart, it looks like he's gotten his injuries out of the way for the season. Let's hope. Yeah. Then you have Brown and Tatum. That's their big 3, right? These 3 are intact. Yes, they're intact. Let's not forget Mr. Big Game Al Horford, who in the playoffs will suddenly turn into Larry Bird.
Scary.
Yeah. So I think they're all right.
I mean, that is the perfect example of load management, right? You never notice when Horford is not playing. But when he's playing, you definitely notice because he goes on a heater and hits like 4 threes when nobody notices.
Absolutely. And by the way, I really like Brogdon, by the way. It took... People don't talk about it that much. It took the Bucks 2 full seasons to get over the lack of depth that the Brogdon trade caused to them. Not until until they got Drew, they could never really fix the void that Brogdon left. So he's underrated. He's a really good player.
Where is Bledsoe even now?
Yeah, where is he? Is he in the league?
Out of the league.
Oh, was it? Where was he last?
He was
New York.
Clippers last season.
Oh, fuck off. What the fuck? I have no idea where he went. Did he go to the Pelicans? He did, right? In the Drew trade.
Yeah, in those trade drama, I think he visited Portland, he visited Pelicans, and then he got kicked out.
What an insane fall for grace. Dude was a really good defender. Choked on offense in the playoffs. That was what screwed the Bucks over. But wow. Okay then. Yeah, anyway, so Brogdon's pretty decent. So I like the squad. It's okay. I think they'll be okay.
Yeah, the Bucks just lost. fell off their 16-game consecutive win streak with the loss to
Oh
Philadelphia.
no!
Guess which team has the longest winning streak in the NBA right now?
Like
Don't look.
No, I'm not. Kings.
No, the Kings of the previous
It's the
games.
worst guess ever.
It's the New York Knicks. They are on a 19
Hey, woo! Yeah.
You know what? They've been playing really good basketball. I've been enjoying watching them play. It's a
God
team
bless.
that I don't really enjoy because of Randall and Barrett in the team. But
It's not very attractive basketball. They score,
exactly,
it's
it's
just
not very
very.
attractive. But when you watch them at home, especially, the crowd is loud
Yeah.
and the atmosphere is nice. And then Randall's hitting threes and Brunson is amazing to watch. And now off the bench you have Emmanuel Quickly and Josh Hart, who are like beasts on defense, right? Like
Yeah.
they're
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a bulldog right behind you.
Yeah.
I think that's a tough team to beat. I think if the Philadelphia 76ers play the Knicks, it's not going to be easy. They might win, but
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think it's going to be easy. It might go down to 6 or 7 even.
Yeah, especially because Philly away from home usually are a bit of a
Yeah.
downer. Maybe if Harden goes off, then who knows? If Harden goes off, any series is over. If Harden can go back to his usual self. But MSG is a tough place to visit. If the teams play, any damn New York, Julius Randle grabs an open rebound, nobody to even box out, and the crowd's going nuts. That's how starved they are. It's not that they really get behind their team. That's how starved they are. They're the Dallas Cowboys of the NBA. You know how
Fun team to root for, weirdly enough. No stars on their team. It's Randall and Brunson and Barrett.
No, but you know what? But they're a fun team to root against. So I'll tell you why. It's like the Dallas Cowboys of the NBA. Dallas Cowboys peak getting towards the playoffs. Every season, people are like, that's it. This is their year. We're coming. Cowboy Nation. Let's go. And then first round, second round, boom.
Yeah.
Knicks, same shit. 2 seasons ago, they went to the playoffs. Everyone went nuts. Who do they lose? Atlanta, right? They made a hero out of Trae Young. Yeah. And it's going to happen again. So it's a lot of fun to root against them also. Try it out.
Agreed. I like their lineup though. It's Brunson and Grimes. Grimes is great on defense, by the way.
Good
Barrett
squad.
is the question mark in that team. Randall
He
and
has been.
Robinson.
4 seasons he has been. No,
Yeah,
Barrett.
He's a little costly for that
Yeah.
squad. I think
Yep.
they're nice. One move away from being a real challenger.
I agree.
Carl Anthony Towns, someone like that on this team.
One good move away from being where Cavs are. I'll probably even go there, right? They actually have a really good squad. It's not screaming superstars, but it's good.
Yeah. How much are Dallas regretting not signing Brunson last mid-season for $56 million on a 4-year contract?
Yeah, but it's one of those. It's a gamble. In retrospect, these deals look bad, but
56?
that's alright.
That's like what,
I
12,
know,
13
I
million
know.
a year? That's a cheap contract. You should have just grabbed it.
they could have kept Brunson and they could have avoided going for Kyrie. They could have done a better deal for a good wing player or something like that.
I agree. Better defender than Kyrie for sure. He's shorter than Kyrie, but he doesn't let go.
Yeah, it
of-
gives you a lot of effort on defense. He was good in the playoffs, Brunson.
He was good in the playoffs. Yeah, he didn't really shy off from occasion.
Yeah.
And I think if you remember in the first round series against Utah Jazz, Luka was injured. So Brunson was a guy who was carrying the ball and doing bulk of the scoring. I think he had a 40-point game also. Against
And remember, signing up Brunson would have meant they could have retained Dorian Finney-Smith also, unless they got a really good wing to outright replace him in
yeah,
the lineup.
they could have gone for someone else, right? You didn't really need a Kyrie level of player, but you could have gone somewhere one
Towns.
tier below and
They could have gone Towns. Not in mid-season, but maybe off-season they could have made some sort of move for Towns.
Yeah,
because they have enough assets that would interest Minnesota, because clearly that thing's not working out, D'Lo and whatever. So
But Kyrie's still on this rental, right? Where his contract expires at the end of season, and Dallas have this option whether to renew him or not. Do you think
Towns, baby.
Towns and Luka?
But that would mean Minnesota really tore it up because D'Lo's gone.
Yeah,
Towns is left.
and then it's Ant and Gobert.
Fuck Gobert. So it's Ant basically. No, I know. I like Gobert. No, that was just a cheap shot.
It's like
He's
Ant's
okay.
team now. It's not like it's not split between Cat and Ant.
But it should be
It should be.
given his availability, his professionalism, and his outrageous talent. I don't know how many times I say this. It's nuts how talented he is. It should be his team. They've got to build around him. D'Lo was just a stopgap. They got him, frankly, only because Cat liked him. Now, Cat, that's a good. I still love the guy, but availability is a huge headache. It's a bit of an Embiid situation with him.
Yeah.
Maybe are they better off getting a ball handler, because Ant plays really good off the ball also. So
Right.
I don't know. Let's see.
They got the veteran presence that you were talking about in Mike Conley.
Oh yeah. They had Pat Bev also. He led them to a play-in win that felt like a championship.
Agreed. We're talking about Dallas, right? Luka and Kyrie are 2-5 since the trade happened, since they started playing together. In that 2-1, one of the wins against San Antonio Spurs, so let's just cancel that out. The other win was against Philadelphia, which was a great win.
Yeah.
But you saw the game against the Phoenix Suns yesterday. It was KD and Booker versus Luka and Kyrie, kind of a tag team match. KD and Kyrie were sideshows in this. KD scored 37, of course, but Booker and Luka, man, that's a new rivalry building. Did you see the trash talk at the end of the game?
Yeah, not the kind of guy you want to trash talk. I really like Booker is great, but like relax, dude. Why do you want to do that? You'll meet in the playoffs at some point.
I love the quotes from both the players, by the way, at the end of the game, where Luka said it's easy to talk when you're up and 3 seconds are left in the game, and Booker told the media, well, you've been saying how the old guys hated each other and whatnot, and when I do that, you should like it, right? I love that quote. I think it's fun. I didn't see this rivalry growing. I know that Game 7 of last season...
Yeah, because he whooped their ass in the playoffs. That's where it started.
Exactly. And for Booker to actually have a comeback, he needs to win a series against Luka. Or probably make the finals again. I know Booker's been to a finals. I know Luka's been to a conference final. But head-to-head, Luka has the advantage there. So I think for Booker to be on equal terms, he needs to beat...
It's not going to happen. It's against him now. I mean, first of all, I love it. This is what makes the league, for any league. Yeah. Top talent going at each other is always fun. And these two really are elite players, both of them. It's going to get diluted though. If Phoenix wins, it's still going to be. It's the same Warriors shit. They'll say it's because of KD. They're in one of those scenarios where you can't do anything right. You lose, they'll say, ha, super team, and you lost. If you win, they're like, you made a super team, you won. There's no winning here.
For KD at all.
Yeah, there's no winning for KD. That's true.
Does KD ever miss a game? I mean, he misses months and he comes back as if he's never missed a day. I mean,
effectively, he doesn't.
Has he ever been like scratchy and like, okay, needs to get into a rhythm? I think he just comes off and just starts playing.
Yeah, man, but I mean, it's that superstar quality, right? Take anyone, Jordan, Kobe, anyone that you admired in the past, Allen Iverson, Shaq is an aberration, but all the others. Look at Kawhi. Dude misses a year, forget months, comes back and just...
Kawhi still had like, say, 1 week of ramp-up time where he was shooting like 30%.
No, that's Kawhi. That's not his game. That's just Kawhi load managing on the court after managing off the court. And he does it both ends, right? KD is still, since his injury at least, he's not been the same defensively. Big game, he chooses his moments. It's not like he can't do it. I think he's a little more cautious. Yeah, for sure. I think he's a little more thoughtful of when to go full tilt on defense and when to just kind of fill the spaces. So Kawhi is when he plays, he's really full tilt. If big game, Kawhi is on both ends of the floor.
Who would be the perfect matchup for Suns? I mean, from an entertainment perspective, I'm saying, in the first round. Would it be Warriors because it'll be KD versus the Warriors? Would it be Mavs because of this Luka-Booker rivalry that's coming up now?
Hold on, let me just see what the possibilities are.
Right now it's Phoenix and the Warriors 4 and 5. But I think Phoenix could jump up. Sacramento are heading up. I think Grizzlies could fall down to 4 very quickly.
Yeah, Grizzlies could drop. So where are the Phoenix of 4th, right? 4th and... So 4th, so they play...
The Warriors right now?
Oh yeah, it's 4 and 5, right? Yeah, so probably Grizzlies would show up there. Grizzlies would be... Grizzlies would be boring actually, it'd be too one-sided. Yeah, I'd love to see a Phoenix-Dallas.
Nice rivalry building up there.
That's an ass-whooping. I don't know if Ja Morant will play, but even if he does, that's an ass-whooping.
Ja said it himself, by the way. What rivalry, they beat us all the time.
Yeah, it's an ass-whooping waiting to happen. Not this season at least. I'd love for a good Warriors-Grizzlies contest. Maybe next season. But Phoenix, for me, Dallas would be like a dream matchup. I'd fully expect them to win, but that'll be just the sizzle of now Booker and Luka. Yeah. It's funny how Chris Paul is a non-entity in this whole equation.
He's the third player on the team.
He's whatever, he's a squad player now.
Is he behind Ayton too?
It's probably. And also, Kyrie against KD after the whole shit show. So, that'd be a dream matchup. I mean,
Booker and KD got 72 amongst themselves. Kyrie and Luka got like...
A fab game. Really good game.
Really good game. Yeah, great ending as well. Luka missed unusually.
Uncanny, yes.
Yeah, very simple layup. He makes them in his sleep. He just missed it. And then there was a picture out there on Twitter. KD with the ball, Luka with his hands on his knees.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, that was a classic moment. But end of the day, it was a regular season game. Nobody really remember. Even next week.
Yeah, that was a bad look though. She should have made that shot. Usually does. Yeah. Bad moment to choke on a layup.
True. But the Dallas, would they be worried? I mean, they're currently holding on to, they're in 7th spot. They could move up to 6th. That could be a playing game against the Clippers, and then you never know.
Ooh, that's a dream matchup. You know what? Fuck the Suns. Mavs against the Clippers. That's the matchup.
Game, huh?
One and done. Let's go.
I think one and done game suits Kawhi better than it suits the Mavs.
Any one and done suits Kawhi. Any time of the year. One and done, I'd take Kawhi over most people in the league.
Yeah, I mean, the Mavs should be worried, right? I mean, no defense. They are 30th in defense since this trade happened.
Yeah.
It's like, if you're playing against the Mavs, if you get to 140, it's like, that's what you need to win, because anything below that, they'll catch up. The game against Philadelphia was great. You saw they were leading by 25 points, and they almost let Philadelphia back. The same thing happened against the Lakers last week, where they were leading by 27 and blew it. So, it kind of shows that any lead is surmountable against this Dallas Mavericks, because literally no defense.
They don't defend.
Christian Wood, who cannot defend. Then Luka and Kyrie, who cannot defend. So who is their defender even? They've got Josh Green now, who's kind of a hustle player. Good to have. But that's about it.
That's what makes it so tough if the Clippers are fully fit, because they're fiends on defense, and it's a tough beat.
For a team that conceded 175 against Sacramento Kings.
Yeah, but first of all, a team like this in the playoffs, that's what have we done the last 4 years? Clippers, no matter what, whatever they do, alive or dead, whatever, ankles broken, whatever, if they're fit in the playoffs. Yeah. It's the same logic again. If they're fit in the playoffs, they turn it on. It's insane. Kawhi is amazing, both ends of the floor. PG is really strong, both ends of the floor. The more I see him on offense these days, the more he reminds me of Tracy McGrady, because he has that size. At 6'8", with his agility, ball handling and shooting, he's incredibly tough to guard when he's on. And he's not hitting the sideboard off threes anymore. Pandemic P shout out. So they're a tough beat. Clippers, I fully expect them to turn it on in the playoffs if they're fit.
Yeah. I just watched the Sacramento Pelicans game a few hours ago, where they thrashed the Pelicans. Sacramento have the best offense in the league, and it's not even close to the second place team. They're a little bit higher. Like, there's a gap between the first and second place offensive team, and that's how good they are, right? The playoffs are an entirely different beast, but Fox has shown that he's the clutch player of the league right now. He's every fourth quarter he goes and gets you 10-12 points, right? And any close game, give Fox the ball, he'll make it. Malik Monk is crazy to have, at least in those clutch moments where you don't expect it, and he goes and gets you a layup, hits a 3-pointer, whatever. Sabonis is a great player to have. Is there a team? I mean, everyone's writing off the Kings. Well, they made the playoffs. That's their high point of the season, and that's it, right? Everyone's kind of writing them off. Whoever faces, like, if they're 3, the 6th place team is probably the favorites. If they're 2, the 7th place team is the favorite. Should we write them off so easily? I mean, I know the playoffs are different, but that's a team that's proven difficult to beat so far. Would you have any hopes for the Kings? Who are the teams that you think the Kings can beat if they face off in the first round matchup?
So right now they're going against the Wolves as things stand.
Yeah.
So it'll be, my guess is it'll be either them or the Clippers, maybe.
Half a game behind the Memphis Grizzlies, by the way, for second spot.
Yeah, so if I were them, I'd push up.
Yeah.
Just for nothing else. If you're going to have a shot at second place, you've got to take it. Why not?
Yeah, and you play a team that is coming off a play-in game as well.
The winners of the first play-in, right? So who would that be? They'd play the winner of 7th and 8th? Yeah. So currently Dallas and Clippers. I think one of them will at least move up. So it'll be...
Yeah. Timberwolves and whoever.
It'll still probably be one of them, because whichever team remains, I'd expect them to beat the T-Wolves. So, yeah, probably Dallas or the Clippers. Yeah, that's kind of why they're getting written off, because the way the West is, the really strong matchups in the playoffs are all in those fucking play-in positions. And all of them are nightmares in the playoffs. All these teams, Mavs because of their offense, Clippers because Clippers, Warriors if they end up in one of those spots. Woo! Yeah. And that's really the that's unfortunate, but that's how it is in the West. The middle is where you want to be.
To play against too, by the way, Sacramento. They're loud and...
Oh, yes. They love their team. And their team has insane depth.
Yeah.
Enough to match probably any team in the league. Their depth is nuts.
That's what you need in the playoffs, right? You want the 9th guy to come off and just have a quick 8 point here and there and can swing it around.
Look, they've got what it takes. I won't be surprised if they jump someone in the first round, but would I bet on it? No, because it's been a while. 2 decades. It's been a while.
What do you think is missing from the Kings to make them a serious contender right now? Because they have all the makings of a strong team. They have the great point guard. They have a good center. They have 3-point shooting. They have the depth. what is missing from this team that would elevate them one level higher, which is to be a serious contender?
One playoff level
Experience?
two-way player, experience with defense. 3-and-D. If they'd live with even a good 3-and-D guy who can start and play both ends of the floor. That's all they
Come
need.
to your mind?
Drew Holiday, can they get him?
No. Realistic names. Realistic names. Drew Holiday is a championship player on any team right now.
Yeah. He'll win your championship kind of player so long as you have a superstar. Who's there to move? Dare I say Ben Simmons, but who's there to...
No, not Ben Simmons. He'll bring
No, I know.
his whole team.
I know.
Someone like Mikal Bridges, you think?
Darth of... Yeah, why not? Actually, good call. Yeah.
I don't think Brooklyn Nets
They
will
probably...
let him go. I think they
Yeah.
just found a diamond in Bridges right
Fuck no. Nets. I think... Okay, so my read of the Nets is highly ambitious ownership. They're not set. They went for that Kyrie thing, then they turned it into Kyrie Harden. I don't think they're settling for this. They'll probably make another big run for some superstar. I don't think Bridges is that make or break for them.
Yeah, but Bridges would have to be the trade asset to get that superstar, I would say.
Probably. But 3-team trade, if I were the Kings, I'd just wait for an opportunity to get somebody like Bridges, if not someone else in that mold. But yeah, I think you've described the mold pretty well. I think that would roughly be the space in which I'd want them to.
I like the Kings. One of the more exciting teams to watch.
I mean, if Sabonis was just a little more lethal, man, if Sabonis had just a little more ambition or fire,
Right.
he just seems like a highly skilled player who's not really that driven. I could be wrong,
He's
but
18-12 guy right now. If he could become a 25-12 guy, it'd be awesome.
he's in that 8-in space. He just needs to make that leap.
Yeah, I agree. The difference is he also gets like 7-8 assists, which 8 and does.
And he shoots the 3, which is so valuable.
Agreed. What do you make of the Warriors' recent run? 5 wins in a row, and then a loss to the Lakers. So I don't really know what to make of it because the Lakers were short-handed without LeBron and Steph coming back on the other side, and they still ended up losing to AD.
I mean, they lost to the eventual champs, so you know. Yes.
Okay, should we talk about the eventual champs now?
No,
then?
fuck off.
I mean, nice run of games. Winning a few, lost one game in between. I don't really
It's happening. It's happening, man.
Oh, okay, wait. We just spoke about the top 8 in the West, right? I mean, the Grizzlies.
Let's talk about the 11th team.
Where do the Lakers fit in all of this? Are they making the play-in? Are they making the playoffs at all? Are they leapfrogging Portland?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, yes to everything. Absolutely. They're doing all of those things. What do you want?
But realistically, where do you expect the Lakers to go? Because they seem to be going hard at it even despite the absence of LeBron. Really impressive win against the Warriors today. I mean, they just beat them. It was not like Warriors had a bad shooting night or anything. Steph was awesome, Clay was awesome, and still they lost. So, I mean, if I was a Lakers fan, I'd be excited about this.
Hey, in the last 10 games, only Kings and Suns have a better record than the Lakers in the West. Now, granted, like 3 other teams also have the same record, but only that's the West.
6-4, like everyone's 6-4.
Yeah, 6-4 Lakers. Only the Suns and Kings are 7-3. But the Grizzlies, whatever. So look, they're going. The problem is not that they're not going hard. They are going hard, and they're getting some encouraging results. ADs. This is the deal with AD, right? So as goes AD, so go the Lakers. Mm-hmm. The problem is not that everyone knows this team can go hard. They have enough personnel to do it. Now they have depth and 3-and-D and everything that they need. The problem is not how hard the Lakers can go. It is how long they can go hard. This team has erectile dysfunction in the league. Not hard for very long. They do like 3 games, somebody gets injured, somebody's mood is off, AD goes on to it, something happens and they fuck it up. And then they're back to where they are. So they're at 11th, they'll move up, they'll go tantalizingly close to going 8th, and then boom, something happens. AD frowns too hard or whatever. I mean, it started already. Mo Bamba walked off, didn't come back in a fucking random game sometime. There's something in the water in LA that they give these teams. Both teams are rubbish on availability.
True. Now let's assume that Dallas, Minnesota, and Clippers take 6, 7, 8, right? Mm-hmm. Who's left? There's Utah Jazz, there's Lakers, there's Portland, and there's OKC. So if you finish in the 9th, 10th, you would expect to beat the remaining 3 teams. Portland is with Lillard, I don't know, but OKC and Jazz, I think Lakers should easily beat them. Right?
Yeah.
And then let's assume Timberwolves lose that other playing game, then it'll be Lakers versus the Timberwolves in a win or go home game. I would expect the Lakers to win against the Timberwolves even.
Yeah, so actually, it's probably good to come in 9th or 10th if you're the Lakers. Because you avoid the... I know it's one and done for you, but you'll probably get the easiest possible matchup. And then you'll also avoid the tougher matchup within the play-in space. At least you'll get to the damn...
tougher matchup.
Yeah, just get to the damn playoffs. And then we'll figure out. Because now you have 7 games. I don't trust the Lakers in one and done. I take the Clippers any day of the LA teams in one and dones. I don't trust the Lakers. But if they somehow get to the playoffs, there's enough experience, skill, and over 7 games, I'd pick the Lakers unless it's catastrophic injuries. So
yeah, the Nuggets will be like we won 60 games and then we have to face LeBron in the first round.
yeah, well, oops,
Not
that's
really
tough,
the
man.
best reward for finishing top of your conference.
Yeah, but you have the fucking 2-time MVP on your team and you have aspirations of winning
Probably
the chip.
3-time.
Yeah, you better beat LeBron or whoever else comes in your way because you have chip ambitions. They shouldn't even be looking over their shoulder right now.
Agreed. Any fun matchups you're looking forward to the East in the first round? I know that whoever faces the Boston Celtics or the Milwaukee Bucks are going to lose. But
Yeah.
the Sixers and Heat, I think, would be exciting. I think the Knicks and Cavs is going to be closer than...
That's the matchup. For me, I really hope that happens. That's the matchup.
I agree. All of that Donovan Mitchell was supposed to go to the Knicks story. That's a nice storyline there. Young Cavs, who people are expecting to go like far away in the future, right? And then a Knicks who had a bad off season, suddenly you signed Brunson for 100 million. That was the story going into the season. And then now they're like, wow, you signed Brunson for only 100 million. That kind of flipped right now.
Yeah.
Randall is back. He's playing.
Yeah.
He has better numbers than what he did in All NBA season where they went to the playoffs as well. So I like the team. I really like the Knicks. I think when they go to the playoffs, it's going to be a tough beat because their defense is so good, and they have players who give it all. So even RJ Barrett, right? I don't like the guy, but he can go on a heater. He can get you 25-30 points on his day, and then he defends well as well. So.
Yeah, but on his day is a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like most starting lineup players on his day.
Okay, let's put it this way. Randall's been consistent. Brunson, every single game he's been good. Mitchell Robinson, great shot blocker. One of the underrated centers in the league, I would say. Because he doesn't score a lot, but he blocks everything. And great bench.
They're not bad. No, they're not bad. I'm looking at it the other way, actually. For Cleveland, good opportunity to make some name for themselves. But also, just individually for Donovan Mitchell, dropping 60 at Madison Square Garden on the Knicks in a regular season or playoff game is like a rite of passage to greatness. Everyone's done it. Anyone worth anything has done it. Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, everyone's sort of done something or similar. Harden also did it. I think he had a 60-plus piece at MSG. For Donovan Mitchell, it couldn't be better set up if he really wants to finally make that leap from unbelievably talented regular season player to, okay, this guy's so he'll sort of go into that, start entering the Damian Lillard space. And this is sort of perfectly well set up for him. If he could, he could do a Trae Young. Basically, he can do a Trae Young and vault himself into that.
Yeah, and get booed at their Yankees.
Absolutely, that's how you become a superstar. Who didn't get booed at Madison Square Garden? Kobe dropped 60, Jordan dropped 60, toes bleeding, he dropped 60.
Do you think Donovan Mitchell has what it takes to become the main guy on the championship squad? How many players are there in the league right now? Let me put it this way: that can be the best player on a championship winning squad. If you had to name, I would say there are like 7 players who are probably.
Yeah, let's go. So Giannis, Tatum. I know unproven Tatum, but Giannis, Tatum, Steph.
Yeah, I mean you don't have to be proven, but I think you can be.
So Giannis, Tatum, Steph. Who else you got? Jokic, maybe. We could put
Kevin
do you think Jokic? Yeah, okay, of course, but Jokic.
Jokic.
Okay,
I'd put
Jokic.
there.
Kawhi.
Kawhi. I'd actually put Embiid also in there.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you're putting Kawhi, might as well. Yeah, why not?
I mean.
That's about it, right?
That's
Luka?
LeBron.
Hey, dude, I think Luka, if they get him a squad, I think Luka can absolutely be the best player on the championship team. If they get him the right squad, for sure.
Yeah.
If Embiid can do it, fuck it, Luka can absolutely do it. Same with Luka. So Luka, that's about it. That's about 8 players. Who are we missing?
8 players. That's pretty much it.
Really?
You're missing Dame Lillard? Do you think
Fuck,
he can be the best
no,
player?
I don't think so. I don't think so. So Bucks were done, Celtics, 76ers, Cavs, no. Brooklyn, hey, fuck no. Miami, Atlanta, not Trae Young, not happening. Nobody on the Raptors.
Butler, no Bam, nothing.
Wizards, Wizards, Bulls, Indiana, no. Yeah, all no. East all done, okay. Ja Morant, TBD. Fox, TBD, still not quite at that level.
Yeah.
Booker, I don't think so. Not the number 1 player on a,
No, I don't think so. He needs Kevin Durant. He needs someone like
Absolutely. And again, too early to tell. We'll see. Cleveland, Jazz, no one. Portland, nope. Lakers. AD. What about AD? It's quite damning that AD doesn't make this list with his talent. I think so too, by the way. I don't think he makes the list.
Yeah, I don't think
it's
so.
sad.
I mean, he's like Dame Lillard, right? Like great talent, but main player on a winning team.
Actually, fully fit, I'd take AD over Embiid. Incredibly enough. But that's the sad part. Embiid somewhere still has that ambition of MVP. I want to be the absolute best.
Durable. I mean, it's ironic to
probably.
say that more durable right now.
He probably is, yeah. And then OKC Pelicans, Zion? No, too early.
No.
Spurs, Rockets, yeah.
Fox, you can't put Zion.
Yeah, I think that's it. We've got our 8. I can't think of anyone else.
So Donovan Mitchell, do you think he can crack that top 8?
Not yet. He's not even in the Booker space right now. So then, not even at Booker Lillard level. So he's at least, I think this is step 1 to get to that level, then we'll see.
I agree. I think that'll be a nice exercise. We should probably find our top 25 players, because you listed out a bunch of names who I think if you put on it, like you found your top 8, then who's the next year? Like, can you be the second guy on a
Yeah, let's probably do that.
Let's probably do that.
But if you look at our top 8 of who can be the best player on a championship winning team, almost the entire list is two-way monsters. People who are unbelievable at both ends of the floor. Anyone who makes the list who's not, better be a Steph, Luka level offensive talent.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it. That's your entire top 8.
Yep.
It takes all-time great offense to not be a two-way player and make the top 8. Donovan Mitchell is great, but he's not a monster.
For that matter, right? Not really a defensive monster, but offensively he's so good that he'll...
Yeah, but he's not like Steph and Luka on defense. KD is still like, he'll give you something.
Yeah, he's still good. He can get you blocks.
Yeah. Like Donovan Mitchell is good both ways. He's not elite at either of these things right now.
Right. That's the next step. I agree. Well, that was a fun conversation. Any tips for the fantasy league before you go? Are you even looking at the scores now?
No, man. I've pretty much folded. I don't even have games left. It's whatever. I'm not even trying. I really don't have. And frankly, we're at that stage of the season where there's really no free agency opportunities to pick up.
Yeah.
So, I'm pretty much screwed.
Cool. Yeah, I think it's time to look out for those role players who just come off and give you like random players you've not even heard of, right? So, keeping my eyes open for those. I think I'll watch Thunder games for watching this. Any tanking teams, I think you'll find some gems out there.
For sure.
That's where I'm going to...
Yeah, actually, maybe one tip. Pick up Ivy in the Pistons if you're really in a deep league. Yeah, because Hayes is missing a bunch of games here and there.
You've been a Detroit ambassador whole season.
Because they suck so much. Yeah, because they suck. They have no one. So 1 or 2 players have literally gone through their entire squad. I've gone through Duran, the other center that they have. I've gone through Ivy. I even had Cade Cunningham.
Preview for next season, you'll give the whole Detroit summary. Hey, Ivy is great. Killian Hayes can do this.
I'll tell you, Detroit, Orlando. This is where I got most of my points. All the shit teams, Orlando, Detroit. What do you do when you get fucked in the draft? You've got to go for the bottom teams.
Nice. Alright then, this has been a fun conversation. I will catch you next week.
Alright, man.
And we'll do the exercise of our top 25 to 30 players, I would say.
Let's do it.
Alright, bye.
Alright, bye.